Hey y'all, hey, are you guys ready for all the shenanigans? Like, I got some tea, okay? Okay, y'all. I got so much tea, I don't even know where to start. Um, we can start about how my AC been like out of commission for like 3 weeks now. So when I got back from vacation, we went to West Palm Beach. A few days after, I noticed that the house was a little warm. The AC was running, but warm air was blowing out. So I'm like, okay. Now, mind you, it's been a year since I purchased a home and I had a home warranty. The home warranty expired August 14th, and I knew it was about to expire. So and American Home Shield, it's a little pricey, but I mean, it's very necessary, very imperative that you have a home warranty. If you own a home, you need to either have, if you own a home, you need to have homeowners insurance and a home warranty. And if you're renting, you should have renters insurance. Like, you just need to keep covered. So I noticed that American Home Shield was a little pricey and that it was going up. So I decided to switch over. And I noticed my parents switched over too. So as I was researching new home warranty plans, I noticed that Choice Home Warranty was available, and they actually hooked me up with a good deal that if I purchased 2 or 3 years at one time, that they would give me like a super discount and then include a free month for my parents as well, since they quote unquote recommended me. So I did that. Now, let me tell you, sometimes it's not good to always go the cost effective or the cheaper route, because, when you put money into things, you get better results. So, I called them for my first hiccup in the house, which is the AC. So they sent someone over. Now, I'm so used to American Home Shield, they always have like a top-notch company come out. They're super professional. They get her done within the day, whatever. So first off, when I get the claim, they said they're gonna come anywhere between 3 o'clock and 8 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, that's a large window. So I call them and I say, hey, I have to work from this time to this time. Can you please let me know when you would be coming over to the property so I can make sure that I am home? Now, I called them a couple times. They did not answer. So I tried to call, Google the number, and it was some house number. I have no idea. They're like, I don't know. Well, that's the number that's on Google. So I ended up calling them again. They answered, and he ended up giving me the driver's information. Now, when I called the driver, he said, oh, I'll be there a little after 5. So I'm like, all right, cool. That's fine. I can work, whatever. This man legit came right before 8. And I'm like, bruh, 3 to 8, and you going to come right before 8? You couldn't tell me that? But whatever. So he comes. Now, he didn't even come in like a company truck. Now, I'm all for small businesses, people on the come up. But I felt like this was so unprofessional. The dude came in a pickup truck. He came to my door with no mask, first of all. He had like his little flannel shirt he didn't even have like a toolbox. He had other things going on. So I was like, you know what? Just whatever. I let him know what's going on. He goes downstairs. Goes outside. He looks at it for like 5 minutes. And he was like, oh, well, your pipes are frozen. I'm like, okay. He's like, so you're going to have to turn off this switch to allow the pipes to defrost. Once they defrost, I can diagnose the issue. So I'm like, okay, so when is that? Because we've been out of AC for 4 or 5 days at this point. So he said, I'm going to give it 48 hours to go ahead and defrost. So, and I was like, okay. He said, I'll come back on Friday or Saturday. Like, sir, can you give me like a more stable time frame, Friday or Saturday? Like, he said, okay, I'll come on Saturday. I was like, all right, cool. So we get some fans for my parents because, I got my own house. I ain't trying to be staying in my parents' house all the time. I'm just not. Plus, my parents keep it hot. My mom is going through her little changes too. So I hope she don't listen to this. She's going to be so mad at me that I mentioned that. Well, it's always hot at my parents' house, and I don't have time. So I'd rather be hot at my house than to be hot at somebody else's house. So the guy comes back on that Saturday. Mind you, I had to call him. He didn't even give me a time frame. I had to call him. I'm like, hey, when you come? He's like, oh, I'll be there in an hour or two. I'm like, all right, cool. Thanks for letting me know. It was so unprofessional, y'all. So I was about through with them. So he goes downstairs and there's water everywhere on the floor. I'm like, what the heck is going on? If you take something out of the freezer and you defrost it, water is going to drip. Like, period. That is just like one of those science things that you learn way back in elementary school. So he comes upstairs and he's like, hey, I don't think your warranty is going to cover this. He was like, so if you want, I can go ahead and clean this thing over here and fix this stuff over here for $350. And I'm like, absolutely not. Not with me already paying this home warranty people up front. I prepaid this joint, so they gonna cover something. So I end up calling them. Y'all, when I say, like, I have to stay safe. You know that song by Kent Jones, I Gotta Stay Safe? Yeah, like, that was me. I was livid. Like, I'm not even going to get into it. They'll make me mad all over again. So I call the home warranty people, and basically you have to set up a case. I already set up the claim, but to appeal what's going on, because it seemed like this guy was money hungry. He basically told them it was a pre-existing condition and that it would not be able to be covered. So I'm like, hold up, pause. I only been here for a year. Like, what is considered pre-existing condition? Nothing has ever leaked in there. Like, how long does something have to be broke for it to be considered pre-existing? Because this has never happened. So I set up, with appeal with Choice Home Warranty. And they said, well, I called them. They said, well, we're going to talk to you on the phone, but your case manager is going to call you in 24 hours. But you need to go online to the email and follow the prompts. So that already, teased me off, because I'm like, I got you on the phone right now. Why I got to do this, online when I got you on the phone? But anyways, I go online. I set up a call. These people don't call me. Why it been 3 weeks since my AC haven't been working? I'm glad that it's fall, so it's been a little bit more cooler. But today was kind of hot because when we walked up in the house, we was sweating. So now I got my fans running. Caleb walking around here in his drawers, and I'm just like, you know what? Whew, Lord Jesus. So I'm trying to keep it together. I called these people again. I was able to speak with the customer service representative within 5 minutes without fussing with her. And she apologized. So, you know what? I know a lot of times we call and we be like agent or customer service or whatever. But we also have to remember that when these people pick up the phone, they're just the one that pick up the phone. They're not the ones who did the do. So try to be kind when you are calling these people. But also speak your mind, because I know I'm not the one or the two, and sometimes they can get that from me while talking to me on the phone. But yeah, that happened today. They said that they were going to call me within 24 hours. So hopefully I get that squared away, because Lord Jesus, I'm over here. It's a whole sauna in my house. So yeah. Something else that I wanted to talk to you guys about was this weight loss journey that I'm on. So I have struggled with my weight. I feel like my entire life. I feel like I've always struggled with my weight. I can't say I was a chunky kid, but I wasn't a skinny kid either. Well, not until I was about 9 or 10. I was kind of skinny like Caleb until I was like 9 or 10 years old. And then I got a little chunky. I found out that food tastes good, and I was just eating. But yeah. In high school, I played, throughout middle school, high school, I played sports. So even when I did get into a quote unquote chunky phase, it quickly fell off of me because I played sports. But recently, pre-COVID, your girl was in the gym every day. Every day I lost a bunch of weight. Your girl was slim, thick. You hear me? I was to the nines, okay? Like, I was a whole dime up in this. Like, I was fine, and I felt fine. Like, I felt good. My clothes fit. I did not feel uncomfortable. I felt like I was able to breathe, take classes, like just go to the gym, and it wasn't a chore. So when COVID hits and everybody's in the house, and then I go through a breakup, like, I stopped working out. Like, I just stopped. Of course, going through a breakup, you go through like the whole depression and negative thinking, just all these things was going on. But I gained a bunch of weight, y'all. Like, your girl is chunky. I'm cute still, but I'm just chunky. And I just feel uncomfortable. Like, I really, really feel uncomfortable. But I will say, I think this is the first time where I feel, because like I said, I've always struggled with my weight going up and down. But I think this is the first time where I still, I feel good. Like, the way I look, I feel beautiful. Not all the time. Like, I don't always feel beautiful, but I love myself. And I think that, we're on social media so much, and we're watching movies, and the media will tell us what is beautiful. And so either these people are like models, very tall and skinny with flat stomachs, or they're BBWs and they have a small waist, flat stomach, big behind, big boobs. And we're like, yo, I got a pudge and a fupa, and, we don't consider that as being beautiful. But I feel like this is the first time where I don't like it. I'm not going to say I like it, because I do not accept this. I know that I can be much more healthier than I am now. But I will say that I love myself, and I can still consider myself being beautiful, even in this quote unquote fat, obese stage, because your girl is seriously borderline. Okay. I am borderline, and I'm not about to let somebody else tell me otherwise, because this is ridiculous. Okay. Like, ridiculous. So I made this rash decision because I saw it online. You know how you see people, like, they say they lost weight doing this diet fad or this plan, or what is that, like Jenny Craig or Nutrisystem, doing different things. So I followed this guy, and he was promoting something else. I didn't really know what it was until I spoke to him, and he is a health coach. And so I was like, you know what? Let me give this stuff a try. And basically, it was a buttload of money. It was like $400 for the month. But he said that they would provide me 5 meals out of the day, and I just have to provide 1 meal. So they want me to eat 5 small meals every few hours, and 1 green, like, salad, protein, but very low carb. So the stuff comes in. Now, there's always a series of questions that I ask. Of course, the first one is, how much is this going to cost me? The second one is, am I going to be full? Like, am I going to be hungry? Like, for real? And the third one is, does this stuff taste good? Because y'all know I'm a caterer. And when I already have a stigma with eating other people's food and going to different restaurants and stuff, like, oh, this is not good or whatever. Y'all, I did this joint for a week. I was hungry. The stuff is nasty. It's nasty. It tastes like protein. Like, everything is chalky. Like, they have cereal. It's chalky. they had a brownie. Like, you know how you can get the brownies from the grocery store and you like just add water and an egg or whatever. But in this case, it was just add water. You stir it up and you either put it in the microwave or in the oven and it turns into a brownie. Like when I heated it up, it looked like a brownie. I'm like, okay, I was so excited. I tasted that thing. I was just so disappointed. Like, Lord help me. And I did lose weight. I lost about 5 pounds in that first week because I was hungry and I was starving myself. So I realized, one, I did not pray before buying that stuff. Like, it sounded good when he said that I would reach my goal within 2 months. He was saying I was going to reach my goal within 2 months because I'm not eating nothing. Like, I'm basically starving. I was hungry, y'all. I was hungry. Even when I was eating this stuff, because I was kind of forcing myself to eat it, I was still hungry. Like, it was ridiculous. It was nasty, and I was hungry. It was so nasty. One time I was driving, I caught myself, because I hadn't eaten in a while, so I caught myself eating one of them things. I almost gagged and threw it while I was driving on the highway. I was like, oh, no, sir, I can't. But even with that, I was like, you know what? Maybe if I stick it out for the first month, I'll be okay. But after 8 days of doing it, I got really, really sick. And I noticed it was because my body was so used to fresh foods, like fruits, vegetables, just different things that I would make, that all of the stuff that I was eating was processed. Like, literally, they gave me, it was the only food that was really like a hot food it was called like some type of penne. And basically it was like a powder, some type of powder and noodles. And you add water and you heat it up for 5 minutes and it looks like meat. And I was like, wait, what? Everything is like some type of bar. Nothing was cooked. So I was feeding myself this, and I feel like my body rejected the processed foods because the only processed foods that I eat now I would say is ramen. And even then I only eat the noodles. Like, I make gourmet ramen. I put fresh food in my ramen, like onions and peppers, shrimp, like just different things like in my ramen. I don't even use the packet. I just use the noodles. So my body was not used to the processed food, and I got so sick. So I was like, okay, God, what am I supposed to do? And he said, you did it before. You could do it again. I was like, dang. Like, I legit lost a bunch of weight from eating well. Like, I didn't miss any meals. I did not starve myself. I even treated myself to, desserts or whatever sometimes. But the thing was, I was in the gym every day. I still ate fruits and vegetables every day. I did not substitute whatever man-made processed food that was for fruits and vegetables. So I know that a lot of times, our BBWs, our big girls out here, we be wanting to lose weight or do whatever. But let's make sure we do it the healthy way, because what I did was not the move at all. Okay. So yeah, and don't allow people to tell you guys what is beautiful, what is not. I'm cute and I have a pouch. I have a big stomach. I have a big nose. Okay. My cheeks are chunky right now. But I'm still cute. I'm still beautiful. And I don't need validation from someone else or, that what I have is not beautiful or is beautiful. I have to know that because I'm a Jesus girl, and Jesus said that I am beautifully and wonderfully made. And so I'm going to believe that. And besides, I be pulling guys sometimes. So clearly I am kind of cute. I'm not ugly. But anyways, I'm trying to think, is there anything else? I'm sorry, y'all, that I've been a little MIA. Well, I think I released my last video 2 weeks ago. But it's just a lot of stuff going on over here. And then with procrastination and pure laziness, I just didn't do what I was supposed to do. But I promise I'm going to be on my P's and Q's because I know God put this on my heart to do. So I need to do it. And I need to give it, my best ability. this is also something that I wanted to say. So recently, I'm not going to say I've been in this dry season, but I was in a season where I felt like I didn't always hear from the Lord, or that I wasn't hearing clearly, or, that could be a number of reasons. Like, the more time that you spend with someone, the more familiar you are with them. So like, even if I go to the store with my mom, if I say mom, there's a million moms in the store, but my mom is going to be the one that turns around because she spends time with me. And so maybe I need to spend more time with the Lord so I know what is clear and what is not, but also just praying and asking God for revelation on certain things. I know I went on a tangent, but this is why. So my beautiful friend Charity got married over the weekend. She was so beautiful going down the aisle, and just to know like her testimony, where she's, where she came from, and then how her and her husband met. I know some of the story. I don't know everything, but just like I know some of the process, and I know how God brought her. So she had a dream one day about her, Roxanne, my sister friend Roxanne, my sister Chanel, and I were holding hands and we were praying. And Charity basically said that she wanted to, be in agreement with us, and we need to, she feels as if that's what we need to do. We need to come together and pray. And basically we were praying for, manifestation of our spouses, our husbands, and Chanel's already married, so manifestation for her children. And so, of course, shortly after that, since then, Chanel has had a child. Amen, my baby. And now Charity is married. But in the time that we were praying, I remember asking Charity, I remember seeing a white man. He was tall and he had a beard. And I was like, Charity, would you ever date a white guy? Now, I know this sounds wrong, y'all, for some of my listeners, but we are Black women. And sometimes when you date outside of your people group or color or whatever you want to call it, ethnicity, it's like I myself have never dated someone who is Asian or white. So that is a question. That was a valid question. Would you ever? And she's like, yeah, I'm open to that. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is what I saw. And she was like, oh, okay. So in her dating Bradley, I was thinking to myself, yo, I missed the mark. Like, what was I looking at when, I saw this white guy? And I just thought to myself, like, there's been plenty of times where I feel like I missed the mark. Did I hear from the Lord correctly? Like, what is going on? Like, why did I see what I saw? Like, whatever. So I kind of forgot about it. And so as, over the weekend, as she's, standing at the altar with her now husband, they are about to partake in communion, and this man walks up and he's about to take communion with them, and he's praying with them. And I see him. I was like, oh my gosh, that is the white man that I saw in my vision. And I realized that I was not off, that God showed me something. I just didn't interpret it right. And maybe I should have tapped into it more, but I still saw what I saw. And God was telling me that this is what it is. It might not have been her marrying him, but he was there, he was present. And so it just reassured me that God does still speak to me. It's just that sometimes I don't hear him all the way, and that I really need to tap in. Because I know that, I have dreams, I have visions, and I didn't always necessarily know what I was seeing, or, the explanation behind it all, interpretation with it. I just know that I need to pray more and ask God for more revelation when it comes to that. So yeah, don't be discouraged when it comes to your spiritual gifts. Just continue to ask the Lord to give you, an answer, to give you revelation on it. So yeah, that's about it for tonight, y'all. Like, I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. I was going to call Roxy because every time we talk, we be cutting up. And I was gonna talk to Chanel and Jay, but they so fake. Like, that's a whole nother ball game. Like, I rode with them with them to the wedding, and it was between Jay and I double teaming Chanel and I double teaming Jay, and Jay and Chanel double teaming me. Like, it was bickering the whole time in the car. But I just love them. I love our relationship. I love my niece. I love her so much. But yeah, I'm gonna get somebody on here next week. Yeah. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed our little chat. I should give you a Caleb update. So Caleb has been in school for, I think this is the 4th week now. I'm not sure. But y'all know I'm the parent that that's going to check in with Caleb's teacher. Like, I'm going to make sure that he's not acting up. I'm going to make sure that he's bringing his homework in. I'm going to check with her weekly because I want to make sure my son is doing what he's supposed to do. I don't want to be that parent that just allows their child to go to school and not be in touch. I want to make sure that he's doing well. So this specific week, I emailed Caleb's teacher, and she emailed me back. And I just want to share with you the email that was given to me because, y'all, when I said I was hollering, I was so weak. I had to share this with all my family because, like, if you know Caleb, you wonder, where does he get his silliness from? Like, I don't know where he get that from. Some of y'all say it's from me, but I don't know if I be doing all that. Like, I don't know. But this is from his teacher. She said, "Thank you for the email. Yes, Caleb is such a delight. Today we were getting in line for lunch and going over the new lunch seating and procedures. I asked if anyone had questions." And this is in front of a parent volunteer. Caleb raises his hand. He says, "I don't have a question, but no one should get chocolate milk because it fills up your stomach and then you won't eat the food that's good for you and you'll have to poop." And I said that this was wonderful advice, and I thanked him. This kid makes my day every single day. We had a spelling test so I could place them in groups, and he did very well. I truly enjoy him. So, y'all, my son is full of shenanigans, like, seriously. I don't know anybody else whose son would say something like this in school, talking about, I think the reason why he brought up the chocolate milk is because they've been short on chocolate milk and he don't want nobody else to drink it. So he's giving up a reason like you can't drink the chocolate milk because it fills up your stomach and then you have to poop. He's not even lactose intolerant. I'm lactose intolerant. Caleb is not. So I don't even know what he's talking about and then you'll have to poop. His stomach, no. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this short little episode. I will be checking back with you guys next week, and hopefully I have some other shenanigans to share with you guys. Love you.